Hello, friends. Welcome to all of you for Global Women Empowerment Sessions 2020. I'm Sri Lakshmi from UK, practicing this meditation from the past 12 years, sharing and spreading this meditation in UK from the past 8 years. Today we have with us Surekha Kothari from India. She will be talking about women and emotional intelligence. And friends, before starting our session, let's meditate for 2 minutes by connecting with all the higher beings. So I request everyone to please close your eyes for 2 minutes and start observing your normal and natural breath. Let's invite all the divine goddesses' energies. Let's invoke energies of angels and archangels and all the higher beings of love and light. Let's invite all the divine feminine masters in this universe. Connect with them and do meditation, my dear friends. Be open and receptive to the healing energies flowing from all these divine beings. Let each and every cell, every part in your body be completely filled with this divine healing energies. Now, in this beautiful state of meditation, let's send and radiate love and compassionate energies to all the beings on this planet Earth. May all the living beings on this planet Earth live happy, healthy, and peaceful. Now, gently place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and you can slowly open your eyes now. Friends, under the guidance of our Master Patriji, we have started this triple one days of Global Goddess Meditation Circle with triple one feminine masters across the globe. And today is day 40 of our program. Today we have with us Surekha Kothari. She's from India. She's a spiritualist, vocalist, writer, and hypnotherapist. And she's born to late Padmashri Shantikumar Raja and Kamalini Raja. She has expertised in various healing modalities, my dear friends, like hypnotherapy, past life regression, kundalini, and breath work. And she's the author of the book called Dharma Beyond Religion. And she's the founder of Body, Mind, Soul Care Center for Hypnotherapy, Reiki, and Counseling. And she was like a past president, past national president in Chennai correspondent Femina. She's a chairperson in Madras Management Association, and she gives a lot of workshops and talks in India and abroad. And we are so happy, ma'am. We welcome you. Over to you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can
Namaste
proceed
and good
now.
morning to everyone who's joining this session from UK and other countries. And namaste and good afternoon, India. At the outset, I would like to thank the Pyramid Meditation Foundation, United Kingdom, for this wonderful opportunity given to me today to speak on women and emotional intelligence. Thank you, Sri Lakshmi and Kavita Gupta, for making this session possible. It is a pleasure to be amongst all of you who are collected here today. And I hope that each of you will gain something from this session. I recommend keeping a pen and paper with you in case there is something that you need to write down. I'm really excited because any topic regarding self-search really excites me. I think we all always have scope to work towards betterment every day. So let's start with this thought. No man is an island. We live amongst people, we live around people, and interact with them on a daily basis. Emotional intelligence is therefore required for us to be mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy. Women are emotionally more fragile, and now, when they're exploring other talents, are multitasking and handling many, many roles, being exposed to more challenges and more experiences, they would greatly benefit with an understanding of emotional intelligence. When we have to take decisions, we tend to work more in a two-dimensional way. It's either this or that. But within those two extreme points of the spectrum, there are many, many, many more shades and colors. Life is not only white and black. There are many shades in between that are equally important. We need to be intelligent in understanding these in between shades. So we need to work not only with our hearts, but also with our heads, that is, our brain. It is easier to theorize about emotional intelligence. With social media so much a part of our lives, we read posts on many topics of self-improvement. We circulate them widely because somewhere within us, we would like to be like that. But these are only words, and actual learning happens only when you begin to apply these thoughts to your real life situations. This is the acid test for us all. Emotions are a very, very crucial part of our energy system. Our health and success depends on them. In one sentence, emotional intelligence just means being intelligent in managing your emotions. But is it that simple? If it was, it would not appear as a subject within management studies. But let's move step by step. First, let's come out of our comfort zone and ask ourselves some difficult questions about our psyche, just to become aware of whether we handle our emotions or we resist change by denying those tendencies. Think carefully, and if you're honest about answering the questions, it will certainly go a long way in helping you. Let's start with the first one. Are you generally in control of your feelings and emotions? Or do you get swayed by your emotions and let your emotions control you and also allow them to dominate your life? Second question, are you letting others control you through your emotions? In short, are they manipulating you by taking advantage of your feelings? Or are you using your emotions to get your own way? Or is it possible that people are using their emotions on you to make you feel guilty or to get their work done through you? All these are possible. We must be aware that everything has a plus and minus. So emotional intelligence can become emotional manipulation also at times. So I have to emphasize on being this. If you are a vulnerable person, for example, your emotions can be like a seesaw, up 1 minute, down the next. Being vulnerable is not really considered a plus in current times, although it shows a sensitivity of mind. But if there is more heart than head, then that is an imbalance again. So go for the middle path, that of emotional intelligence, a balance between the emotions and your intellect. What does this mean? It means that the control button for your emotions is always in your hands, and you will decide when you want to use them, under what circumstances, and how much of them. Now, if we think about it, emotions are triggered either by love or hate. These are the two prime emotions. So happiness or unhappiness. Unhappiness brings pain. We live between pleasurable and painful experiences. Technically, it is our five senses that accentuate these feelings. For example, the sense of touch can be either pleasurable or painful. The eyes can see something beautiful or feel disgusted by it. So we respond to reach out, to touch, smell, taste, to sight, and to sound. And the emotions that are so created, we call them positive or negative, depending on whether they give you pleasure or they give you pain. So what is this negative and positive that we constantly speak of? How many of us know that we live in a world of energy? The physical body is gross energy, which we can see because it is matter. Emotions are a part of our subtle energy, which we can feel, but we can't see. Emotions, therefore, are associated with the element water. Like you create a dam to control the water from flooding land, you require a dam to control your emotions also. And what is that dam? It is the dam of mindfulness. There would be havoc in our lives if we allowed this emotional energy to constantly overpower us. We would be thrown into conflict situations, imbalances, our relationships would suffer, groups and societies would not accept us, the atmosphere at workplace may be disturbed. This can happen when we don't practice letting go of negative emotions. Very, very crucial. Storing negative emotions is like holding a piece of burning coal in your hands. Can you keep holding on to it? You will drop it immediately, won't you? Because it will burn you. So then, the logical question is, would we harbor negative emotions even for a second if we knew the extent of the damage they can do? They can ruin your relationships. The danger is that stress caused by these emotions can also manifest within you as life-threatening diseases. Do we understand that? Maybe, maybe not. But we still hold on because our ego becomes stubborn and our urge for retaliation takes over. We want to give back negativity for negativity, whereas emotional intelligence works on positive emotions. All this is training as part of self-management skills. It is widely acknowledged that the caliber of the micro, which is every individual in this case, is the starting point of the ultimate result. An emotionally skilled individual can uplift the entire environment into a productive one. Therefore, managing emotions effectively becomes a very crucial task. The macro, that is the collective, will be only as healthy as the micro, which is the individual. In 1916, William Stern coined the phrase intelligent quotient, what we call IQ. But it was soon realized that only intelligence was not enough, that human emotions must be balanced with intelligence to achieve success in personal and work life. So in 1996, Peter Salovey and John Mayer popularized the concept of emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. The truth is, people with high emotional intelligence are often more successful than people with high intelligence. Dr. Daniel Goleman says, if your emotional abilities aren't in your hand, if you don't have self-awareness, if you are not able to manage your distressing emotions, and if you can't have empathy and have relationships, then no matter how smart you are, you're not going to get very far. All this seems to be like a tall order, but do we realize, those of us who have read about the earlier Gurukul system of education will know and understand that emotional intelligence was woven into the student life in every activity and in every decision. It was taught by elevated gurus by example. Those societies were ideal societies because everyone had to live with emotional intelligence as a character trait. Today, it is offered as an elective, a part of an academic syllabus, and we have the option to build up our emotional intelligence in more ways than one, but with external study. The good news is we don't have to worry about positive emotions because they activate the feeling of feeling good. And it is us and others that feel good when we are positive. But we need to worry about our emotional negativities: hate, envy, fear, sadness, anger, rage, anxiety, disgust, depression, rejection, dejection. There are so many which actually corner us and take over our lives. It is not easy to be intelligent about all of these all the time because we have the capacity of feeling them with great intensity. And we tend to lose our other faculties at that time, however temporarily. What complicates all this is the ego. The combination of ego and negativity is a very unhealthy one. Controlling the ego is a huge part of emotional intelligence because the ego tends to personalize everything, whereas emotional intelligence works on objective thought and objective perceptions. Let's take three types of scenarios. In the first, you are completely emotionally disturbed about everything and anyone, and you get into a vortex of feelings and lose your head, your intelligence, and everything. You're just wallowing in your self pity. Sometimes these emotions could jumble up. They could be more than one: anger, hurt, disappointment, sadness, all together. And how do you get out of these? You get completely lost, and you require someone else to pull you out at that time. The second scenario is when no one's there to help you, but you're still in the same situation. It's possible that there must be some hidden strength lying inside you, which out of desperation comes out and bails you out at that time. But look at the third scenario. This one is the ideal situation. Emotionally intelligent people never reach the state where they need to be pulled out of a situation because they have learned the science of sinking. So they are always in control. They have learned to assess situations and deal with them calmly and effectively. Basically, when you learn emotional intelligence, it has a common set of principles, but its methods of usage might differ depending on which environment you're in, whether it's a home environment, social, or work environment. So let's understand that the first step to emotional intelligence is to recognize with awareness what we are feeling. Become aware. So awareness is the first step. And then ask, why are you feeling that way? Become an observer to your feelings. Ask, what is the core of this issue that I'm feeling? If your emotions are jumbled up, separate all the allied emotions and get to the core. You will get to the core if you observe and if you are exercising the third person's perspective at that time. Stay away from self-pity and never feel like a victim, because victimhood is at the opposite end of emotional intelligence. So be aware and be mindful. Put a distance between you and the entire experience so that you can analyze objectively and understand the core issue. Number two is, as much as you try to understand yourself, try to understand the emotions of other people as well. Very often, we think the worst about people without understanding their intentions. It has been my experience that there are more misunderstandings that ruin relationships than actual reasons for ruining relationships. And it is always the small things that add up. The thing about being emotionally intelligent is that you start giving people a benefit of doubt. You try to understand where they're coming from. Instead of being suspicious, we build trust in relationships. You have to develop at least a working relationship with those who are within your work environment, right? So you cannot afford to become insecure and isolate yourself from everyone who affects you. The balanced way of doing it is respecting the good qualities in people and not getting affected by the aspects you may not like about them. That is the key to intelligent relationships. The third, learn to separate every emotion from the chain of emotions that you feel. You will find that most of them originate from your own reactions to situations. because it was easier to blame others than point the finger at yourself. For example, if something hurts you, you will feel the hurt, of course, but with this, you might feel anger at the person who caused you the hurt, disappointment in them, you might blame them, but the focus and the main core issue here is hurt. Sometimes even core issues of this hurt are a result of a fragile ego or some very, very small mental aberration which comes up temporarily and can be easily healed. But we will not want to heal it at that time because we lose our awareness, and hence we stand the chance of losing relationships. We stand the chance of losing respect. Is it worth it? I ask you, does emotional intelligence not address this? I want to caution everybody regarding blame. It is one of the greatest weaknesses we have. Blame is like anger for failing in an exam because somebody studied better than you and came out in flying colors. There are always two people in an interaction, but when it comes to reactions and responses, there is only one person, you. The buck stops with each of us. Let's go to social skills. Emotional intelligence is a tremendous confidence booster and a great social skill to have. Frequent interactions with people gives you that insight into people's minds and varied learning experiences. So you must expose yourself to people and situations. As you move within groups, you learn how to adjust and how to be intelligent around people. Unfortunately, sometimes our early conditioning years can hinder emotional growth from going into the right direction. When the girl child has been suppressed and all her initiatives taken away, she may grow up to be emotionally crippled. To survive, she might even use emotional manipulation to get her way in the world, or else she can turn the other way and become a recluse. So emotional intelligence does have a dark side to it, where it can be used to influence negatively also. We have seen exceptional orators who have poured their emotional intelligence into brainwashing the masses. Controlling minds is a dangerous trend for humanity. So the motive behind teaching emotional intelligence should be to create more balanced and compassionate people to serve societies economically, socially, politically, and judiciously. There is a qualitative difference in benevolent emotional intelligence and detrimental emotional intelligence. To be truly emotionally intelligent, you have to be both spiritual and humane. Spirituality and humanity, the two keywords. Let us examine some signs for emotional intelligence. Are you able to connect easily with people? Do you empathize with others, understand their problems? And most important, can you look at things from their perspective? All these come under the spectrum of emotional intelligence. If you are not emotionally intelligent, you're going to be constantly judging, criticizing anything, anyone who doesn't think like you, maybe people you don't like, and maybe you always think you're right. All these properties are more for non-intelligent people than for intelligent people. Then let's see the courage aspect. Do you have courage? The greatest courage is to be able to admit to your weaknesses, just as you admit to your strengths. Can you do that? If you can, you're definitely emotionally intelligent. Do your decisions keep changing depending on the way you're feeling? That's certainly not intelligent. Are you able to take constructive criticism from someone in the right spirit? Can you take frankness? We know that people love to give out frankness, but not take it when it comes to them. So do you have the ability to be humble enough to take criticism about yourself. If you can, then there is certainly an element of emotional intelligence there, because you are not afraid to admit and change. Sometimes you may go the other way. When people tell you something, you might distance yourself from people instead of communicating with them. Not intelligent. Because people who tell you something are souls who are trying to teach you your lessons. And if you don't take those as lessons, then you might not get those lessons at all. The next one, which is very important, is commitment. Do you mean what you say? And do you do what you say? Are you a person true to your words? In short, are you a committed person? Are you a dependable person? If you are, then you definitely, the aroma around you of emotional intelligence is very catching. People feel very drawn to such people. On the other hand, you can keep committing in words and not do anything about it in action. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't do it, you're erratic about it. You fulfill a few commitments and don't fulfill the rest. Well, it's nobody's guess that such people need to learn emotional intelligence. Intelligent people can always assess their abilities. They will not commit if they can't keep up to their commitments, because honesty and even straightforwardness are very important to them. They don't want to string people along. They respect themselves for these qualities and they respect others as well. It is crucial to understand that if we show any fickleness in commitment, we look into ourselves, because somewhere we are lacking in that commitment to ourselves. And that's why we don't respect ourselves enough to be committed to others. This world is like a mirror. Everyone is showing us a mirror. Should we choose to see what is in that mirror and learn from it? I see a lot of impulsive people. They're very, very nice people, but sometimes the intelligence is missing because they're well-meaning, but they don't think before they act. It is important to weigh the pros and cons and then decide on the action required. So stop, think, and then act. That is the best policy. The other very important thing to remember is, are you reacting? Are you responding? These two, many people don't know the difference of these two. But it is a very valid and crucial difference between the two. A response is when we remain calm, don't get involved in the emotional situation that episode pertains to, and think before we act. Use calm and power of the mind to avoid a conflict situation. Think of the collective good. A response is intelligent, it is measured to achieve good results. It is an act of awareness and mindfulness. Reaction is almost the complete opposite, where emotions are not in control and there is no awareness. The moment you see something, you want to just give back without thinking. A reaction, therefore, is not done with enough thought and always will ignite fires around. It will spoil relationships, it will create conflicts. But if you respond in a calm way and a collected way, those fires maybe cool down. That is the basic difference, and a very big difference between responding to life situations and reacting to them. One more quality that emotionally intelligent people have is the quality of generosity, of praising others, genuinely respecting and appreciating the talents of others does not take away anything from you. On the contrary, it gives you good energy, It unblocks your heart chakra, and it builds a tremendous amount of goodwill. Besides this, most important, it builds trust between people. It gives people hope and confidence and motivates them into doing better and better. Such a person who can inspire this is emotionally intelligent to the core. There might be a deep-seated psychological issue if you cannot be generous to people, or if you are only generous to a few whom you like. If our experiences in life have been negative, often we react with emotions like anger, envy, jealousy, and low self-esteem. We can only give what we have. So if we have negativity, we find it easier to give out negativity. We need to learn emotional intelligence and go on to a different level. Generosity of praise is a trait of being confident of oneself and is a huge part of being emotionally intelligent. Are you diplomatic? Yes, we tell people the truth, but how do we tell the truth? Benevolent diplomacy is when you want to give a feedback to someone for their behavior, but say it in a way that they will not mind. Simply put, say it calmly, without anger, or without being critical about it. Saying the truth lovingly is a great trait in emotionally intelligent people. Of course, there are people who are in denial and don't want to hear the truth about themselves. If you are intelligent, you perhaps will avoid telling them something they don't want to hear because they are actually suffering. It is a complex. So you will be very passionate with them, compassionate towards them, because they are not at that level. Let them evolve until they reach that level. Everybody is evolving at a different level, and we have to understand that. One more last quality that I see in emotionally intelligent people is the ability to forgive and forget easily. So we have to ask ourselves, can we forgive? Can we forget? Or do we harbor things until it becomes a wound inside us? Even a small mistake made, can we apologize for it? Can we ask people to forgive us for it? These are great strengths, and these are not weaknesses as people believe. They believe, I should not say sorry to anybody, but actually, that is the most cleansing exercise you can do for yourself. So there are some traits we need to develop as human beings. Be on the side of truth, always. Be simple, be logical in seeing things as they are. Keep a pure and clean mind. It helps you work better. Be compassionate, because if you don't understand people, A, people will not understand you. B, you will be constantly getting into a cycle of causes and effects, which is not going to help you. Patanjali has given a very good mantra for people to get out of their ignorance. One of this is practice detached attachment. What is attachment? It is mine, yours, separatism, and all of that, which is inspired by our egos, I identity, as we call it. So everyone has attachments. Aren't we attached to our families, friends? Yes, we are. But when you are trained to see things as they are, you will always side with what is right and correct, even if your loved ones are involved. That is the difference. We do not get swept away by imbalances because of our attachments. So we're able to take tough decisions. You know, being cruel to be kind is a very well-known philosophy. Take the side of right. Even when your loved ones are involved, it can be tough, I know, But anyway, be on the side of justice. Do not get carried away even by compassion. If that compassion is given to the wrong people, it should not be directed towards people who don't deserve it. And then be a leader. But apart from being a leader who is respected, loved, be a team player. In a family, the head of the family can keep a family together only if he practices emotional intelligence. In a society, group leaders can be effective only if they carry all their team members with them. As the current slogan, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas. The ability to switch roles according to the need of the hour is the difference between being a good leader and a bad leader. Because a good leader is a very effective team player. So I want to end this talk with a quote that describes the essence of emotional intelligence. It is by Aristotle. He says, anybody can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everyone's power, and it is not easy. Even to start on the path of learning emotional intelligence, the first thing we need to do is remove all our blocks, all our negative blocks, which are caused by a series of negative emotions that pile up within us in reaction to outside experiences. Today, I'm going to end the talk here and we are going to meditate. We are going to meditate and remove all the negative feelings consciously so that positivity can always be ours and shine through us. Thank you for listening. And now can we move to meditation?
Ma'am, you please start guiding. I'll be playing the music.
So, folks, get into a comfortable position and close your eyes. Spend a few seconds to let go of any other thoughts you might have at this time and bring your awareness completely into this meditation. Make an intention that today you are going to let go of all the negative emotions that have disturbed you earlier and which still continue to disturb you. This guided meditation is based on creative visualization. So I will be asking you to imagine or to visualize from time to time. Now take a deep breath. Fill your abdomen and lungs with it. Hold and let go through your mouth. Take 3 such deep breaths, and with every breath, inhale positive thoughts in the form of white light. And with every exhale, let all the thoughts and emotions that don't serve you leave your body in the form of black smoke. Inhale the white light of positivity and exhale the black smoke to erase, release all negativity. And while you are breathing, relax all the muscles of your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And now I'm going to count from 5 to 0. At the count of 0, you will be completely relaxed and focused only on my voice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. You are completely relaxed. Now, imagine or visualize that you are sitting on a chair with a table in front of you, and on that table, there are many name tags, blank name tags, which have nothing written on them. I will mention some emotions now, one by one. Whichever emotion is disturbing you, just deal with those emotions. Or you can deal with every emotion that I name if you like. Each time I mention one name of one emotion that upsets you, imagine or visualize that you are picking up one tag and writing the name of that particular emotion on the tag. Imagine or visualize that you have a pen right next to you to do that. And after you have written the name of that emotion that is disturbing you, pin the tag on yourself. Wait for me to say the next name and do the same with every name one by one. Write that name on an empty tag and pin it on yourself. And so keep pinning all of them that disturb you, all the emotions, one by one. Is that clearly understood? So now let us begin. The first emotion is anger. All of you who want to get rid of anger, pick up the name tag, write anger on it, and pin it on yourself. Do this now. The second emotion that I'm going to name is fear. Those of you who feel fear, pick up another tag, write fear on it, and pin it on yourself. And the next emotion is sadness. Do the same once again. Keep pinning those tags on yourself. The fourth emotion is anxiety. You can call it stress too. Now let's move on to envy and jealousy. Those of you who feel it, Please deal with it today and let's remove it with the same method. The next one is depression. I know a lot of us feel that from time to time, and we need to let it go. Now let's work with hate, one of the most vile emotions that we feel. The next one is loneliness. We know several cases of loneliness. It is a tough one to get over, but we can. Nothing is impossible. Pin the tag of loneliness on you to let it go later. Next comes the desire for revenge or vendetta. When we can't make peace within ourselves and we work with many hurts and wounds, this desire for revenge might come up, but we don't want it. Pin the tag now. Let's go to hopelessness. Do you feel hopeless sometimes? There is no need to, because after every darkness there is light. If you're feeling hopelessness, pick up that tag, write hopelessness, and pin it on yourself. And one more emotion that we don't need is non-forgiveness, the inability to forgive, holding on to grudges. We need to forgive and move on. If forgiveness is difficult, take that tag, put non-forgiveness on it, and pin it to yourself. And now, if there is any other emotion that I have not listed here, and you want to write and pin the tag on yourself, please do it now. Don't worry if you have not finished the task. Take a minute to complete pinning each one if you haven't done so already. I'm going to repeat all the names once again. Anger, fear, sadness, anxiety, envy or jealousy, depression, hate, loneliness, desire for revenge, hopelessness, non forgiveness. And if there are any extra ones that I may not have listed here, please feel free to use more tags for those emotions. Now imagine or visualize that you have walked outside and are sitting around a green fire burning in the midst. I want you to unpin all the tags one after the other. Look at the name of the emotion written on it and make the intention of letting it go from your system completely. Imagine or visualize the tag getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it becomes a speck, and drop it into the fire and watch it burn. Start with anger. Unpin the tag. Look at it getting smaller and smaller until it becomes a speck, and drop it into the fire. Now unpin the next tag, fear. Make an intention of letting it go. Watch it becoming smaller and smaller. Drop it into the fire. Now do the same with the next one, sadness. Make the intention of letting it go from your life forever. Now, those who have pinned anxiety, deal with it in the same way. Don't forget to make the intention. Now, unpin the tag of envy and jealousy. See it becoming very small and completely insignificant in your life, as all the emotions are, and let them go into the fire. Unpin the tag of depression. Do the same. And cleanse yourself of that emotion completely by throwing that tag into the fire. So also loneliness. Next. Desire for revenge after that. Hopelessness. Non-forgiveness. And any other non-specified emotion. Once all the tags have been thrown into the fire, enjoy the feeling of relief that it gives you. You are like a new person, completely
My dad
positive,
used to come home drunk every day
on
and
top
hit
of the
me.
world.
My mom had passed away from giving birth to me, and my dad hated
Now
me for
imagine
it.
and visualize that you
By
are
the time
throwing
I
a
was
ball
16, I
of
ran
white
away from
light
home and had to work 3 different jobs to
from the universe to cover yourself.
Life was tough, but it was better than being beaten by my dad.
This is a warm, healing light, which is a protective shield for you. Cover yourself with it from head to toe, from inside out as well. And whenever you want, you can use this as a protective shield by covering yourself with it and saying, activate, crystallize, lock 3 times. Activate, crystallize, lock. Activate, crystallize, lock. Activate, crystallize, lock. And now, while you are within this light, repeat silently within you 3 times as I affirm, I'm feeling 100% positive. I'm ready to let go of everything that does not serve me. I'm calm, collected, and confident. I respond to all my relationships with love and compassion. I understand that I am a part of the collective energy. I am divinely guided at all times. I am whole and complete. And now for a second time with feeling, I'm feeling 100% positive. I am ready to let go of everything that does not serve me. I am calm, collected, and confident. I respond to all my relationships with love and compassion. I understand that I am a part of the collective energy. I am divinely guided at all times. I am whole and complete. And now for the third and last time, I'm feeling 100% positive. I'm ready to let go of everything that does not serve me. I am calm, collected, and confident. I respond to all my relationships with love and compassion. I understand that I am a part of the collective energy. I am divinely guided at all times. I am whole and complete. And now, whenever you are ready, and when I count from 1 to 5, please bring your awareness back into the room, into yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rub your palms together and place them over your eyes. And with an attitude of gratitude to the divine energy, open your eyes and relax. I thank you all for this opportunity, and I hope you all have benefited by this session. Good luck, love and light. Namaste.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. How you have beautifully shared about how to manage our emotions, because emotions play a key role, ma'am. What you said is definitely true. Thank you so much for sharing such a beautiful wisdom with all of us. And meditation was so beautiful,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much.
Beautiful. Yes. For your time and for your wisdom sharing with all of us. Thank you so much once again, ma'am. And friends, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat. And yes.
I would be happy if they email me any questions.
Yes. So please do share your mail ID, ma'am, so that they will email you. Yes.
My email ID is 2tospk4@gmail.com.
Okay.
T for Tommy, O for Orange, S for Sugar, P for Pune, K for Kanpur, number 4 @gmail.com.
Yes. Ma'am, Does emotions affect our spiritual growth?
Your voice is not coming in clearly to me. Is there something you're asking me?
Yes. So, someone asked, does our emotions affect our spiritual growth?
Can our emotions affect our spiritual
Growth.
growth?
Yes.
Did you say spiritual growth?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
they definitely can, because your emotions, if they are negative, are going to block your progress, because you will never be able to clear your mind enough to create a hotline with your soul. Our soul gets blocked by a lot of negative layers, so we can't emerge out of those. Until we emerge out of those, we will not be able to go very well on the spiritual path or not elevate ourselves, which is why we do so many workshops. A lot of us attend, like we attended Dr. Newton's Kundalini energy workshop. All those workshops are designed to clear us little by little, so that we actually progress on this path of spirituality.
Okay.
We have to work for it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. And yes, so people have conveyed their gratitude to you. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you once again. And thank you, friends, for joining and utilizing these sessions. Let's connect in tomorrow's session with one more master. Until then, signing off. Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.